Yeah, one of my favorite quotes, I think you recently quoted him as well as from Bruce Lee, where he talks about, I have the quote here, which is, don't speak negatively about yourself, even as a joke. Your body doesn't know the difference. Words
Right.
are energy and cast spells. That's why it's called spelling.
You
Change the
got
way
it.
you speak about yourself, and you can change your life. What you're not changing, you're also choosing. And this reminds me of this quote, oftentimes people don't make a decision. They put off the decision. But by putting it off, you're actually making a decision
That's
by
right.
not making the decision.
Yeah.
And
Not action is an action.
yes, yes,
Yeah, totally agree. And then you also know, the letter that Bruce Lee wrote himself, right? About the vision that he wanted to create, and he created. He became it,
mm, yeah. And I
right?
think about great leaders like that. And I think about warriors, even, right? The warriors that are courageous are not those that don't feel the fear and go into battle. They're the ones that feel the fear, but they go into battle anyways. That's the courageous part. And I feel some people get stuck because, and this was certainly myself, is that they feel a little bit of hardship. They feel a little bit of the negativity, or they don't get the rewards fast enough from making the changes that they have in their lives. And then they quit or they stop too early. And resilience is such a critical part, I feel, to make the change and persist when times are inevitably going to get tough. Where can you direct people to building the resilience when things are definitely going to get tough, when you're starting to make big changes in your life?
Yeah. Before it gets tough, you see, when you learn to ride a bike, usually there's somebody teaching you. And what do they do? If you learn to ride a horse or a bike, they're like, oh, get back on. It's going to take you some time. When you learned to tie your shoes, when you learned to brush your teeth, when you learned to eat food, you failed. You failed forward, because every part of the learning process involves failure. And we're all clumsy beginners at first, and it's uncomfortable. So first and foremost, is having some tools to use and say, okay, great. Here is the thing I want to achieve. When I fail, when this or this or this or this or this happens, can I choose in advance how I will respond instead of react? When times are tough, financially, physically, mentally, relationally, can I choose to be resilient, to have tenacity, to have resolve in advance? Can I create that as part of my identity? I was watching Arnold Schwarzenegger on Netflix the other night, just the story of his life. Comes from Austria, big guy, wants to act. Everybody says you're not an actor, you're too big, you're a bodybuilder, you're this or that. And his first couple of things failed and flopped, and people told him to get out of acting. And he says, but quitting wasn't in my plan. Nowhere on my plan, on my goals, was the word quitting. So he created the identity of not being a quitter in advance, and he just figured it out.
Mm.
So here's my question for everyone. Can you deliberately choose, create a new empowered identity right now? And can you reinforce that through creating a new story? I'm so happy that my new identity is blank and my character traits are blank. And the way I react or behave and think and feel is blank, 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 blank. And when things don't work out, here is how I handle it. And when I feel like quitting, I do this. And can't you create a story and then impress that story into your subconscious mind, which is where the identity is, and then create the beliefs, the character traits, the behaviors, and just get started with a little bit each day being that person? Well, of course we can. Like, why not choose that in advance? All of my students in my business coaching programs, my money coaching programs, one of the first things we do, like day one, next to me, not day 2 or 3, right, is we're going to create a new story, a new business story, a new money story, a new story for your life. I had it over here. Oh, right over here. This is my Exceptional Life Blueprint. It's one of my programs. And if you were to look at, I've got guiding principles for my life, and these are some new ones I'm adding to this, my working copy. But the story of my life is all written down for health, wealth, relations, career, business, beliefs, financial. Everything is written down into a story. Then I record the story and I listen to the story. And then I create vision and goals and behaviors and strategies to make the story my masterpiece.
Mm.
So I start off with the vision and goals.